Hey everyone, welcome to MAT212, Brief Calculus. I'm Mrs. Devaney, but most of my students call me Dev. I'll be your instructor for this class. I know this is a little bit different than what we're normally used to when taking an in-person class, but we're going to do the best we can here at home together. I've tried to make the class as close to possible as being in person, where I've provided note packets just like if we were in class together with examples and definitions and all types of good stuff. And I've also recorded all of the lessons so that you can follow along in the notes just like if we were together. You can see my contact information up at the top of the syllabus. Email is probably the easiest way to get a hold of me since I'm not in the office. But you can always email me if you have any questions or need anything. I will check that and get back to you as soon as I can. I do want to talk about a few things in the syllabus that I think are important, but please make sure that you read through the syllabus yourself and then make sure that you take that syllabus quiz, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But you can see the course competencies, all the different things that we're going to learn throughout the semester, lots of different calculus stuff. And I'm going to add a little bit, not to scare you, but just to be honest with you. A lot of students get kind of confused with this word brief calculus, and I think they think that it means just like a cute little soft, easy calculus. And unfortunately, that's not what it really means. You guys are actually doing full-on calculus. You're doing all the same stuff a Calc 1 class would do. The only thing you guys don't do is trigonometry, so sine, cosine, and tangent. But in replacement to that, you do a lot of different application or word problems. So this isn't a cute little baby calculus. This is real calculus stuff. So there's going to be lots of challenging topics in here. So please make sure that you're ready, that you set up time in your daily schedule to commit to this class, and because you will have to spend a lot of time learning, practicing, and making sure that you understand. Okay? All right, a few of the first things are the required materials. You are required to purchase the code for Mymathlab. This is the online software that we're going to be using to complete homework, to complete the chapter exams, to do the reviews. There's extra video examples in there if you need it. Everything is pretty much done on Mymathlab, besides the video lessons and the stuff I've provided in Canvas. Mymathlab includes an e-text, so you do not need to buy a hard copy of the book unless you want it, and then it's a little bit more expensive. But access to Mymathlab will be purchased directly online through the link that I've posted in Canvas, and it'll cost you around $100. If you do need to, you can purchase the code through the bookstore. It might be a little bit more expensive, but you still do have to access Mymathlab using the link in Canvas. You'll get more information in the week 1 starting here module. Make sure that you follow those directions so that you know how to register for Mymathlab. Because all of the homework and tests are in Mymathlab is mandatory. You have to purchase the code. Any student without access by the first Friday of class will be withdrawn from the course. So that is one of your first week required assignments. You have to get registered for Mymathlab. Now, there is a 14-day free access for those of you who can't afford a book right away or the code right away. You can access Mymathlab for free for 14 days for 2 weeks. But within those 14 days, you do need to make sure that you access the permanent code, because we're going to continue doing all of our assignments on there. Mymathlab must be accessed through the MyLab and Mastering link in Canvas. There is no course ID. You cannot go to mymathlab.com and try to get into our class for the first time. If it asks you for a course ID, you didn't follow directions. So please make sure that you go to Mymathlab through Canvas at first. Because the course is linked, that's the only way that you can get into your Mymathlab class is through Canvas for the first time. You need to be able to set up an account, link our class, so that you can get in. Okay, so you have to make sure you go through Canvas. Because this is an online class, you need to make sure that you have the appropriate technology and reliable internet access. Each student will need access to a reliable computer and reliable internet to access Canvas and Mymathlab. You might also need access to a printer in order to print off the note packets, or you can use a tablet to upload those notes and take notes that way. Taking notes is a requirement for the class, just like if you were in class with us, I would expect you to participate. And so you do need a way of either uploading or printing those note packets. You cannot take notes on a separate sheet of paper. Because you're expected to take notes, I do need a way of seeing that you've completed the notes. So you also need a way to be able to scan or take pictures of your completed notes and your work. So whether that's a phone that you can take pictures, or a scanning app, or if you have an actual scanner, you need to be able to take pictures or scan your completed notes and be able to upload them in one document, not 37 different documents, to be able to submit those completed notes and work to Canvas, okay? So please make sure that you have all the technology that you need. Internet outage and technology issues do not constitute a valid excuse for being late on any assignments, quizzes, or tests. So please don't wait until the last minute. If you run into a technology issue, unfortunately, that's too bad. It happens. We all know it happens. So please make sure that you plan ahead and plan accordingly. Make sure that you have the appropriate internet, the appropriate technology, all that that you need to be successful in this class. You will also need a calculator for this class. A scientific calculator will do, but I highly suggest you get a graphing calculator. You will be able to use these on your exams, and there will be a lot of different problems where they get a little complicated, where you're going to want a calculator. The calculator that I'm going to use and show you examples on is a TI-83 or an 84. If you have something else besides a TI-83 or 4, then you need to make sure that you know how to use it. I don't. I only am comfortable and have been trained on the TI-84 and 83. So make sure you get one of those if you can. You might also be able to reach out to the Math Solutions and see if they're still renting those out to you. But that's another way of getting a graphing calculator. I do not have extras for you to borrow. You can't share them with a classmate, and during exams you will not be able to use a cell phone or a tablet or anything else as a calculator. So you have to have an actual calculator. All right, the big picture of how this class is going to run. Because we're kind of at home and we're alone, this class will require that you are self-directed and motivated. So you have to make sure that you make this a priority, that you schedule time now and put it in your calendar for this class every single day. Just like if we were in class together, we would be spending a significant time together each week. In class, I would probably see you about an hour and a half twice a week. That's 3 hours. And then you would have homework in addition to that, probably another 3 or 4 hours, depending on how long it takes you to kind of understand the information. So you need to devote a decent amount of time to this course. So even though it's online and at home, you still need to make sure that you are self-directed and motivated to do all the things you need to do. So each week you are expected to watch the video lessons. I've created video lessons for each section that we cover in class, just like if we were in class together. While you're watching the video, you're expected to take notes on the blank notes packet that I provided in Canvas. You might need to pause the video. You might need to replay the video. I've even asked you in some of the examples to pause the video and try them first before I just give you the answer. I really would like you to take advantage of all these different options. The videos are kind of nice because you can go at your own pace. You can rewatch them, you can pause them, you can try it really to make sure that you're fully understanding. I know, unfortunately, I have a bad habit of, as you can probably tell, talking kind of quickly. And so you probably will want to make sure that you pause or replay or take it at your own pace to make sure that you're understanding, okay? But you are required to fill in the notes just like I've done with you in the videos where you're filling in the blanks, you're doing the examples with us. Everything I do in the videos, you should have completed on your notes. And at the end of the chapter, you are required to submit a picture of your completed notes in Canvas. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a little bit, but you are required to do that, and that is worth points towards your grade. All right, after watching those videos, you are expected to practice, right? You'll be doing homework using the Mymathlab program, and so after watching the first section's videos and filling out the notes, you need to make sure that you practice by doing the homework. The homework will give you immediate feedback on your understanding of the topics, making sure that you understand what we did in the videos. It is your responsibility to follow the due dates in Mymathlab for each homework assignment. What I highly suggest you do is on the front page of Canvas, I've posted a calendar. I would print that off now so that you have a schedule for when all of the assignments are due. So please make sure that you are paying attention to all the different due dates for homeworks and exams and so on. Okay? Typically homework is due by Sunday at midnight. Please do not wait till Sunday to try to do all of it. It is way too much for you to do all in one day. It's way too much information. You need time to practice and absorb. So please make sure that you are spending time throughout the week watching the videos, learning the information, practicing the information, and please do not wait till Sunday night. We are in this together, so if you're having difficulty with anything, please ask me. I know you can't see me, but it doesn't mean that I'm not here. So please, please, please make sure that you ask me as soon as you don't understand so I can help you clarify anything so that you can be successful in the class. After we finish each section in a certain chapter, we will be testing our knowledge by taking a chapter exam after each unit. These exams will be proctored. I have a meeting in a couple days actually with Proctor U. They've actually provided us an opportunity to use their services for free for you guys to have your exams proctored while at home. So you don't have to go to campus. You can stay safe at your house, but those exams will be proctored, and I'll get you more information on details about how to sign up to take your exams and what is expected of you. But just know that all of your chapter exams will be proctored, so make sure that you are aware of that and you have all the technology that you need in order to do that. There is a chapter review in Mymathlab that looks very similar to the exam. I highly suggest you do that. You have to do that before taking the exam in order to make sure that you're prepared. All right, there are 4 week 1 required assignments, I call them. You have to do these 4 assignments before Friday of week 1 or you'll be withdrawn from the class. The 4 assignments are, number 1, taking a syllabus quiz. After you've watched this video, you've read through the syllabus, I need you to get onto Canvas and take the syllabus quiz by Friday. You need to make sure that you get 100% on the syllabus quiz. You have unlimited attempts to take the quiz, and information can be found in the syllabus. So it's just a way for me to point out again important information that you're responsible for in the class. So make sure you take that syllabus quiz with 100% by Friday. The second thing is you must register for Mymathlab. Remember, this is where you're going to do all of your homework, your reviews, your exams, pretty much everything for the class besides the notes and the videos will be in Mymathlab. So you have to make sure that you register for Mymathlab before Friday. Remember, if you need to, there's a temporary code for 14 days, but within those 14 days, you will be required to purchase the permanent code. There's directions and even a video of how to register for Mymathlab in the week 1 module. Assignment number 3, I need you to set up a sign up for the Remind messaging system. It's an app that I use to send out quick reminders, announcements, any course changes. So I don't know how often you guys all check your Canvas email, but I know y'all have your phones next to you 24/7, right? And so this is the quickest, easiest way for me to be able to send you out fast reminders or announcements or anything like that. So please make sure that you sign up for Remind by Friday so you can be part of our message system. The last one, I know it seems kind of silly, but I taught a summer class this summer and I had a lot of issues with students submitting documents all sorts of crazy ways. So this 4th assignment that's required for week 1 is you must submit a multi-page document in one file. It needs to have a clear image, the pages need to be in order, and it needs to be facing vertically. So I need you to be able to take pictures of multiple pages, but then upload them into one document so that I can quickly scroll through and see all pages in your document. I need to be able to see that they're clear pictures and in order. This assignment is going to ensure that you receive full credit when submitting your chapter completed notes and partial credit on exams. Because I'm going to ask that when you take your exams, even though they're proctored at home and on the computer, that you actually work out every single problem and you submit that work so that I can give you partial credit on your exams. But I have to be able to read and clearly follow your work. And so I'm really emphasizing this because it was such a hassle this summer that students were upset that I didn't give them credit, but I could not read or follow any of their work. So please make sure that you are able to submit this assignment properly by following the directions in this assignment so that you can get all of the points and credit that you deserve. Okay? So 4 required assignments that have to be done by Friday. Syllabus quiz with 100%. Make sure that you register for Mymathlab, sign up for Remind, and then make sure that you submit that document, that multi-page document, in one file. All right, remember those week 1 assignments are due by Friday by midnight or you'll be withdrawn from the course. It's really important that you get those things done so that we can start to focus on content for the course. Attendance in an online course is taken by monitoring your online progress. So every day you should be making progress in this class by watching videos, by completing the homework, by looking at the reviews and taking the tests by the due dates. So you have lots of work to do, and I should be able to see that you're working on those things by checking your progress not only in Canvas but in Mymathlab. More than 1 week of inactivity or progress in the class may result in you being withdrawn from the class with a failing grade. So unless you've made arrangements together that I know there's a reason for your inactivity, I need to be able to see that you are working throughout the week on this course. So if you go with more than 1 week without working, then I do have to withdraw you from the class. Okay? All right, notes. Like I said, you are required to print out or download if you want to take it on a tablet. You are required to print off the blank chapter notes packet that I provide you in Canvas and take notes for each section as you're watching the video lessons. You should be filling in everything that I fill out in the video. Once you finish with the chapter, you must submit a copy of your completed notes in Canvas. You need to make sure that you follow the requirements in Canvas for submitting that document, or you'll receive no credit for your notes. So again, that's making sure that your pictures are clear, the pages are in order, they're facing vertically, and they're all in one document. That makes it easier for me to be able to see that you've completed everything. Then I could just scroll through the whole document and make sure that it's all there. So please make sure, that's a really important part of this class. That's how you're going to learn, is by watching the videos and taking the notes, just like if we were in class together. All right, we're going to make sure that we practice by doing the homework to reinforce our concepts that we're learning. The required homework is assigned, completed, submitted, and graded online all through Mymathlab. You will have a homework section for each section in the book. So there's 1 assignment per section. It's really important that you complete the homework. That's the only way that you're going to understand the material. And for some reason, if you're not understanding, then make sure you do more homework. So the homework that I've assigned is just a minimal amount. If you're still struggling, then you're welcome to do more homework. There's lots of other examples and problems that you can do in Mymathlab within the homework and in the study plan if you need extra practice. Homework is mandatory and is worth 20% of your final grade. So please make sure that you stay on top of that and that it's due by the due date so you get points for all of your homework. As you're doing your homework, I know it is tempting because you're doing it on the computer to be casual when working, but please make sure that you are organized and you show work on a piece of paper. That's going to build good habits, first of all, that later on when you start to go into in-person classes and you're doing other math classes, some teachers are very picky on different notation and how much work you have to show. I know that I am. If we were going to be together in person, I would expect you to show lots of good work with proper notation. I know that a lot of students try to skip steps, and that's when they make their mistakes. So please make sure that as you're working on your homework, you take your time, you take out a piece of paper, you show your work, and you make sure you understand. Okay? Let's see here. Again, it is your responsibility to be aware and meet the online deadlines. Make sure that you print off that calendar. You can even see the due dates in Mymathlab so that you can make sure that you're paying attention to those. Okay? Like I said before, you're expected to spend approximately 4 to 6 hours weekly on homework. Depending on how long it takes you to understand the material, that's a decent amount of time. You cannot wait until Sunday night to try to watch the videos, take the notes, and do all of the homework. Please make sure that you set up time in your schedule to work a little bit every single day on this class. All right, the last thing is chapter test. There will be 5 proctored chapter exams worth 100 points each. Again, I'll give you more information as soon as I get it in a couple days here about specifics for using ProctorU. But they will be proctored exams. They'll be taken on Mymathlab, but you are going to be watched and monitored via a video camera, microphone, and even a web monitoring software. Let's see here. This will be done at the end of each unit. It says here, while taking the exams, you should be working out all problems on a separate sheet of paper. So take out a piece of paper, get yourself all ready to go before starting the exam. And then as organized and clearly as you possibly can, start with number 1 and make sure that you show me all of your work. Then do number 2 and show me all of your work. What I'm going to do is have you submit a picture of this work so that as I'm grading your test, I can see if you got any problem wrong, why you got it wrong. Unfortunately, Mymathlab, because it's a computer program, is programmed to only accept certain answers. Your answer might be right, but the computer might have marked it wrong for whatever reason. I want to be able to see that you've done all the correct work and you deserve full credit so I can give you credit back. Or maybe your answer is wrong, but most of your work is right and you deserve most of your credit. The only way that I can give you partial credit back is by being able to see your work. So it's really important as you're taking these exams to write all your work, be clear, be organized, and submit that work to me so I can go back and give you partial credit that you deserve. Now, when you are finished with your exam, your work should be submitted within 5 minutes of completing the exam. You cannot submit your exam, finish working out the problems and try to get some points back, and then submit your work later on. It has to be within minutes of completing the exam. I can see not only when you finish the exam, but I can see when you upload your work. So it's important that it's within minutes so I know it's valid and I can give you credit for it, okay? If your work is unclear or incomplete, no credit will be given for those questions. So please make sure that you are doing all of your work there. Now, every student has the opportunity to earn extra credit. You can earn extra credit on every single exam if you complete the chapter review that I've given you in Mymathlab with at least an 80% before taking the unit exam. So if you do the review before taking the test and you get at least an 80%, I'll give you extra credit on your exam for that chapter. Now, I normally don't tell students what the extra credit amount is going to be until after I've graded the exams, because what I actually use it for is kind of like a curve. Let's say I think the class deserves a 3% curve or a 4% curve. Well, then that's what I'll give you for your extra credit. But you only get it if you did the review with at least an 80% and it's done before taking the exam. I know some students over the summer tried to submit it after taking the exam because their test score wasn't as good as they wanted it to be. That doesn't quite work. It doesn't make sense for you to do the review after taking the exam. It has to be done before you take the exam. No exam will be given late without prior approval. If there's some crazy circumstance where you're not able to take the exam by its due date, then you need to let me know before the day of the test. If you do not let me know before, or if it's a last minute change, then you will receive a 0 for your exam. So please make sure that if there's some sort of circumstance that you need to let me know of, that you let me know prior to the exam. You will be given a week window to take the exam, and the exam is due by Sunday at midnight for that week, okay? There are no exam retakes. So unfortunately, if you do poorly on an exam, there's no way to retake that exam. So you need to make sure that you're doing the preparation before. You're watching the videos, you're taking the notes, you're asking questions, you're doing the homework, you're doing the reviews. You're doing the review as many times as you need to before you take that exam, because you cannot retake any of the tests, okay? There will be a final exam, a proctored final exam that's comprehensive at the end of the class. I will give you another window of opportunity to take that exam, but it is due on or before Thursday, December 17th. So again, that will be a proctored exam, and it will be a comprehensive exam over everything we've covered for this semester. The final exam will be given on Mymathlab and must be proctored. Like I said, I'll give you more information about ProctorU when I get there, but you need to make sure that you have access to a video camera, microphone, and the necessary technology to complete all of your chapter exams and the final exam. If you cannot meet these requirements, then you will receive a 0 for your chapter exams and your final exam. So if you don't have this technology or you're not comfortable with it, then I need you to make sure that you sign up for a different class. Because for my class, I want those exams to be proctored, the 5 chapter tests and the final exam. Okay? All right, you must complete the final exam on or before the due date. There are no late exams or extensions allowed for any reason on your final exam. That's the end of the semester. I need to get grades in, so you need to make sure that you do it on or before that due date. You can use a calculator on the exam, but you will not be allowed to use any notes or book during the test. And then we'll talk about more details here in a little bit. I haven't quite decided and finalized the exam yet, but I have here 2.5 hours. If we need more time than that, after I finalize making the exam, I might change that, but for right now, 2.5 hours should be sufficient for you to finish the final. I will be posting a practice exam in Mymathlab that is very similar to the actual exam to help you prepare. So please make sure that you do that review as many times as you need to on your final exam so that you're ready for that. Okay? Again, make sure that you've taken time out of your schedule each day to make sure that you're successful in the class. That's what that whole paragraph is about. You can see that grades are made up of a couple different things. Your completed notes, remember you have to print or upload those notes. You have to do every example and every problem that I do in the video. Those notes are worth 10% of your grade. We have homework in Mymathlab over each section that we cover. That's 20% of your grade. We have exams. Those are your 5 chapter exams that we'll do proctored, and that's 60% of your grade. And then you have the final exam at the end of the semester. That's worth 10% of your grade. I know that it says exams and quizzes. I wish we could be together so that I could quiz you. I know you don't like that idea, but it's really important. We're going to be learning lots of different rules, formulas that are important to memorize. And unfortunately, I've found out in the past that if I just ask you to memorize them, it doesn't always work that way. So unfortunately, I've had to force, or should I say, encourage students to memorize them by quizzing them often. Since I can't quiz you often because I can't see you, you need to make sure that you quiz yourself often so that you know all of those rules, because you will not be given a formula sheet for any of your exams. Okay? Excuse me. If you are struggling in the class or need to withdraw for any reason, please contact me so that we can decide the best route. There are different options for that, and depending on your financial aid or your student status, you might want one way versus the other. So please make sure that you let me know if you do not want to continue on with the course. I reserve the right to withdraw anyone from class for excessive absences. So if I see that you're not participating, you could get withdrawn from the class for inactivity. Like I said, I know you can't see me, but it doesn't mean that I'm not here, and you have lots of other resources besides me in order to get help if you're struggling. So please reach out if you need anything. You've got me. We can answer emails, or we can even meet virtually through Zoom. If you need anything, let me know and we can make an appointment. Math Solutions, even though they're not physically open on campus, they are still virtually available for you for free tutoring. There's tutors waiting for you to answer your questions virtually. They'll get on with you through Google Meet or through Zoom, and they can answer your questions just like if they were in the Math Solutions building. They can help you right then and there. So Math Solutions is still a great way to get free tutoring. Mymathlab also offers lots of different resources. They've got extra videos. They've got that e-text that has the book so you can look at the examples. It has step-by-step instructions. I think they also even provide their own tutoring service for free. So take advantage of all the different resources that you have there. I do have a student conduct blurb. I hope that I don't have to use this, but this is any sort of academic misconduct or dishonesty, but includes but is not limited to cheating, plagiarism, excessive absences, use of abuse or profane language, disruptive or threatening behavior. I know that we're online, but there's still unfortunately incidences where student behavior comes into play, and I will be withdrawing you from the class and reporting you to the Dean of Student Life, Dean of Academic Affairs, and the Math Department Chair. But hopefully we don't have to worry about that, right? We're going to have a great semester. Netiquette. Netiquette is the correct and acceptable way of communicating on the internet. Because this is an online class, we require a lot of written communication, both to your fellow students and to me. So it's important that you communicate clearly and professionally. The golden rule of netiquette in an online class or environment is pretty much don't do or say anything online that you wouldn't do or say in person. So please be kind and respectful when you're communicating back and forth. Okay? Student responsibilities. It is your responsibility to know all the different policies in the syllabus, in the student code of conduct, and in the student handbook, so make sure that you're aware of those. You're also responsible for anything in the syllabus in the class. For example, if I post an announcement in Canvas or Remime, you're responsible to make sure that you read those and follow those. The last few things I'm not going to quite go over. You can read through all of this, but the sexual harassment blurb is important, and the disability statement is also important, so you can read through those. If you are a student that's registered with DRS, please let me know about your accommodations as soon as possible so I can work with you on that. Okay? All right, so I know that was a lot of information, but please make sure that you read through that syllabus, that you do those 4 required assignments by Friday of week 1. Remember, that's the syllabus quiz with 100%. That's signing up for Mymathlab. That's signing up for Remind, and that's doing that document, that multi-page document assignment. You can find all of that in the week 1 Getting Started module. Make sure that you also get into Canvas and you play around so you can see where everything is at, including our calendar. You'll see it right here. It has all of the due dates, so you can see the week 1. Our assignments are due by Friday, and then we actually have our first section, 11.1 homework, is already due by Sunday of week 1. Now, 11.1 has a lot of information in it. It's going to take you a lot of time to get through all of the notes and all the examples. It has a lot of information in that section. So please make sure that you start that section early so that you can get completed with all of the notes and the homework by Sunday of week 1. All right, I look forward to a great semester with you. Even though I can't be there with you, I know that we're going to have a great time. Please let me know if you need anything.